Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dara and today we're playing some Heroes of the Storm where we're taken into Hanamura as Genji to take control of the boss in the middle. Wait, just a moment. Okay, hold on. We're playing Heroes of the Storm. I mean, this is literally Heroes of the Storm in the World of Warcraft arena. What? But let's be honest, what gave Blizzard the idea to make this MOBA-esque brawl, this jumbled mess that's really difficult to understand? But I actually give it a 7 out of 10. I liked it a lot. I mean, I was confusing a little bit at the beginning, but I liked it a lot. So let's talk a bit about the new brawl that Blizzard has introduced. If you're confused what the brawl is about, it's called the Shadowpan Showdown. And it includes 2 teams of 5. Each team makes up 1 tank, 1 healer, and 3 DPS of various different classes and specializations. Yes, it does take a tank to play this BG. You can't do this without a tank, so healers and tanks will have faster queues for this battleground. So if you're a healer or a tank, feel free to queue into this whenever you wish. The brawl is in the Shadowpan arena, and in the center of the arena there is an area designated for you to stack. It kind of works like Eye of the Storm flags. The more people of your team are stacked in there, the faster you move the dial towards your area. Once the dial is moved towards an area, one of the 2 mobs will activate. Once the dial is in your advantage, now you get to fight in a PvE mechanic the boss that's in the area. Whoever kills your boss first is the winner. So not only do you have to have your team stand in the center in order to capture it, then you also have to keep the enemy team at bay while fighting this monstrosity that keeps getting stronger and needs to be interrupted. So this is why you have tank, healer, and 3 DPS in an arena. The tank is there to take on the ad and provide whatever support they can to the enemy or the friendly team if the enemy team has the point. Once the boss is available for you to start tanking, you kind of want to tank it and cut it around different areas, avoid certain mechanics, and help out your team at the same time in a PvP style scenario. If you're a DPS, you're trying to eliminate the enemy DPS and healers as well as the tank, trying to capture the middle point and trying to dish in DPS into whatever boss you have. On the sides of the arena, you also have treasures, and once you get them, it increases the potency of your healing and damage. Now, that is the simple way to put this arena. But what this comes out into is a very much a familiar face of a MOBA-like mechanic, as well as a PvE-like mechanic with the PvP aspects to it. In some ways, this is kind of reminds me a little bit of World PvP back in the day, when you would get a 40-man group together and you would split the team in half. Half of your group would be PvPers, healers, and DPS who would hold off PvPers trying to rescue the king or the war chief whenever you go into raid main cities, and then the other half of the group would be tanks, healers, and DPS geared for PvE. PvP group would have resilience gear and talents to verse other players. PvE group would strictly be there for PvE. So you're almost trying to take this kind of a playstyle and condense it into a brawl. You have the tank who's there for the ad and to tank the ad and mitigate it and avoid mechanics and face it in the right direction as the ad throws out different abilities, and interrupt the big ad in the middle because it will try to heal itself. You have the DPS trying to manage the ad as well as the other players, be it healers, tank, DPS, with all the variety of CC and variety of builds. And then of course you have the healers trying to heal the tank, keep the other DPS alive, and try not to die as the enemy team keeps assaulting you and pressuring you. 3 DPS at a time. And it really comes down to just a very fun mishmash of a lot of things happening on the screen. Now, I can see why people might not like the brawl. It basically tries to put PvE and PvP together. Other games have done this before and they've done it successfully. MOBAs like League of Legends and Heroes of the Storm have PvE mechanics of a dragon or a boss down the middle or a creep camp, and they have PvP aspects of you playing against other players. You attacking NPCs, but you're also fighting players, and you have this PvE and PvP kind of fused together. For World of Warcraft, I could see why some people would be a little bit off and like, why are you putting a PvE mechanic into something that's PvP? They're supposed to be there punching other players, but now we're also having to punch this demigod boss that we have to kill now. Why is this happening? But overall, I thought, in the long run, it made for a very interesting battleground and a very interesting experience. So definitely nothing I hate. I actually enjoyed this tremendously. I had a ton of fun. Now, with this brawl, I did have some thoughts of what if this could be like the new 5v5, you know, the 5v5 gameplay, 5v5 arenas. Because in a way, while 5v5 was basically a 3v3, but plus a big clusterfuck, and a lot of people simply just started falling out of 5v5, except there were like, what, 2 whole teams that were playing last expansion for, I think, Warlords General, if you still had 5v5 back then. Or was it in Miss Pandora that we last had 5v5? It's been a while now. But I remember 5v5 at one point where something people actually cared about and tried to be competitive in, and then it became kind of just like a meme, and then it just died. But what if they could bring back 5v5 through this kind of brawl? I guess it would depend if the community would enjoy this, but I honestly would say I enjoy this. It does have some League of Legends-y, MOBA-y vibes, which might put some people off because they would say, oh, this is an MMO. Why do we need to be like League of Legends? Why do they have to be like other MOBAs or whatever? But I feel like it has enough of the familiar elements that people would watch and people would maybe care about. It has different varieties of comps that you can play, and it allows capability for your tank friends, healer friends, and DPS friends, whether they are PvE or PvP players, to participate. Now, one of the things I would say about this brawl is the rewards. They're kind of shit, I'll be honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The rewards are that of a skirmish. Your win is a skirmish win. Your inconsecutive wins afterwards are skirmish wins. And for these brawls, we actually had one game that lasted 20 minutes. I mean, it was kind of our fault, but also the enemy team fault, because all of us, we had no idea that the bosses heal, and then it was kind of difficult to line it up as we were trying to kick each other and then fighting CC to kick the boss. But for the most part, it was just a brawl. We were just clashing at each other. Like, it really felt like a brawl. It just constant action, back to back to back. We're dying, we're rezzing, we're back, fighting, dying, rezzing, back, fighting. It felt non-stop. So to go 20 minutes for that, just for a measly skirmish win, not even like a day 1 skirmish win, was a little bit demoralizing. I definitely think that Blizzard, and I could probably do a whole nother video on that, is Blizzard could probably do a little bit better in terms of PvP rewards. And I might talk about it, but I don't really. I think everybody, if you watch the video and people talking about better PvP rewards, I think everything that people wanted to say has already been said, to be honest. But if they were to up the rewards for this and to be more like a, let's say, BG reward, or even an RBG reward, it might make people be more conscientious about what comp they're queuing in. Do they want to queue with randoms, or do they want to queue with a full team comp? Because this could be some big AP if you get this done. And this is some crazy amounts of mechanic. It's not really simple of just, hey, kill the enemy team, run the flag, make sure you don't die while running it back. Here you're always having to worry about enemy rest time, trying to kill enemies at a different time so then they're rezzing at a different moments, trying to CC healers and all the DPS, trying to stop the cleave pressure, trying to hold down the middle, trying to avoid the boss and the boss's mechanics, trying to avoid the fact the boss is always gaining strength the longer it's out, trying to line up cooldowns together, trying to snipe people out, trying to find the and collect the boxes that give you increased healing, increased damage, and lining all that up together in order to score yourself a win. I feel it could be pretty competitive and could be pretty exciting. No matter who you are, a PvE or PvP player, you have these aspects that are kind of mixing together. And I think that would be really, really cool. So to do that for 20 minutes straight to get skirmish rewards was a little bit demoralizing. It was just, wow, I'm kind of wasting my time here. But if it was an RBG reward for winning one of these, you could really have some competitive action happening. But that's just my thoughts. And that is the Shadow Pan Showdown. I think I'll do this brawl a couple times this week. I think I've brawled out for the day. But maybe give it a day or two and I'll be like, wow, let's go do another Shadow Pan brawl. Of course, this is a lot easier when you have like a tank or a healer. That's like one thing I guess that I'm not too keen on. But if we could raise the PvP participation, then I don't think it would really matter that much. A 23-minute queue doesn't really bug me too much. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about the new Shadow Pan Showdown. I think I've said just about everything I needed to. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.